Hey everyone, welcome back for another episode of Shop Essentials with me, Tom Sands. Today we are going to have a look at the Elevate Mortise and Tenon jig, the Elevate M&T jig for bolt-on necks. This jig is specially designed for getting perfect alignment between your inserts in your neck tenon and the holes for bolts through the head block. So first thing to say is that the jig is made from machined aluminium, and then we have some stainless steel drill bushings. These have a number of different locations depending on the size of your mortise and tenon configuration. I tend to use barrel nuts that go through the side of the tenon. This jig will allow you to do both styles, whether you use a barrel nut or a threaded insert into the end of the tenon. So this is one of my Model S guitars. We are ready to drill for the bolts that are going to go through the head block. So this jig is designed for guitars that utilize a 3/4 inch wide tenon. I've got my 3/4 inch wide mortise here. It's really important that the jig fits really snugly. If you need to pack it out with any shims, you want to take care of that. So I have the jig sitting flush with the face of the guitar. Nice. That's really nicely centered. And now we'll take care of the neck. So like I said, you can use this jig with either your barrel nuts or threaded inserts going into the end of the tenon. And it would work exactly the same way. So you want to make sure that the joint is nice and tight. You've got the jig flush to the top of the neck or the underside of the fingerboard. If you're doing the threaded inserts, you go in that way. I do the barrel bolts. So in fact, I'm going to turn this around. I'm doing this sideways for your benefit. Normally I'd have it in my luthier's vise, but you know, that's how much I care about you. These are a really nice tight fit. You want to be careful to make sure that you put them in completely straight. So all that feels really nice and positive. Again, remember, if you need to shim it, do that. So once you've drilled for your barrel nuts, you're going to go ahead and drill the clearance holes for the bolts. So the jig hasn't moved, it's still nicely in place. And as with all of the Elevate tools, I really appreciate the solid, sturdy build quality. All right, so next up, we're going to want to countersink the heads of the neck bolts. So we're going to use the Elevate counterbore bit. This is a really interesting tool. It works by counterboring after the holes have been drilled. So you've got an adjustable shaft here with the counterboring bit, which gets secured into place with a little set screw. And then what you want to do is poke that through the holes that you just drilled for your neck bolts. And then you're going to take a Sharpie and just make a little mark to show where the counterbore starts. Take that out of the guitar and make a second mark, which is going to be the depth that you want your countersink to be. Post this back through your head block, attach your drill. And once you see that second mark, so it's worth noting that because you are drilling in the opposite way than you normally would, have your drill in reverse. And so that's it. That is the variable M&T jig from Elevate combined with this super handy counterbore bit as well. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I'm going to get ready and set some more necks. Till next time.